Yeah, quite an impressive list. Tyson Krupp, in the news recently, chairman of the executive board. Eckhard Schultz was there. Her Majesty Queen of Spain was there. Chairman of Goldman Sachs International. Chairman of BP, British Petroleum, Peter Sutherland was there. And do they really just sit around and talking about nothing? James Wolfensohn, president of the World Bank, was there. Paul Wolfowitz, president-designate at the World Bank, was there. Newsweek International editor Fareed Zakaria was there. They are not there to just say hello to one another and have a good time. There's business being done. Held at Rotach Ergen, Upper Bavaria, where the real power of this world exists, lives. And, of course, there were the usual prime ministers and U.S. government officials that I never got to. Also present were the movers and shakers of the Western media, including media heads from almost all countries whose press chose to publish the insulting cartoons. I know, I checked. People like Michael Ledeen of the American Enterprise Institute. That's one of the leading architects of the Bush administration's foreign policy. Richard Pearl, Paul Wolfowitz. They were there. And also, as I pointed out, and would allude to later as now, on this list of attendees, was one Anders Eldrup from Denmark. Anders Eldrup happens to be married to one Merete Eldrup. This lady is the managing director of the company JP Politikens Hus. The JP? Well, it stands for Jyllands-Posten, that published the slanderous anti-Islamic cartoons in Denmark. Neither Anders Eldrup is an ordinary Tom, Dick, or Harry, nor is his wife exactly a babe in the woods, not to have understood the repercussions of their actions of what their newspaper was going to do a few months later. Merete Eldrup, Secretariat at the Ministry of Economics and Business Affairs and Deputy Director of the Danish Energy Authority. Fairly high up? Uh-huh. And Anders, her illustrious husband, is right now chairman of the board for Denmark's oil and natural gas company, Dong. And was the permanent secretary, Ministry of Danish Finance. He has also attended the last 5 Bilderberg meetings. You'll find this very interesting, too. A previous editor-in-chief at Politiken, another one of the Jyllands-Posten, Politikens Huses newspapers, Torger Zeiderfaden, is a long-time Bilderberger member, too. Here's a little bit more about the Bilderberg Group, just to dispel those conspiracy connotations whenever you hear that word. Because all the big pundits, all the well-known big names that are on talk radio, slough it all off. Why? They're on the payroll. They gotta be. How can you possibly tell me that they're just having a little talk when there are people of that magnitude getting together? In a rare interview given to BBC, Etienne Davignon, the chairman of the Bilderberg Group, and a former Belgian diplomat and European commissioner, dismissed the claims that the Bilderberg Group is a part of a global conspiracy to rule the world by a self-selected elite of movers and shakers. But what do you expect him to say? Yeah, we're Illuminati. All the conspiracy theorists around the world talking about us are correct. The truth is, the sole aim of this group is to put in place a new world order for the express benefit of only those elites. Now tell me I'm a liar. 870-6400. 416-870-6400. You got to sell, punch star 640. Call me up and tell me I'm a liar. I'll repeat it. The truth is, the sole aim of this group is to put in place a new world order for the express benefit of only those elites. Phone's not ringing. Phone's ringing. Yes. Phone's not ringing. Hello, turn your radio off. Tell me I'm a liar. He hung up. The Bilderberg discussions are structured on the principle of reaching an agreement of how to achieve this goal of a new world order. Here's an example of the power and status of these active members who attend, that if an agreement for action is arrived at the meeting, the decision is expected and will be implemented in the West as a whole. Everyone will adopt it. The group's main aim is to make decision that supports and strengthens the foreign policies of the United States and Britain, or, more simply, to help execute the lines are full. The precise formula, to execute the precise formula sold internationally by the Bush-Blair duo. This New World Order, with the Bilderberger Group's unflinching support, is being shoved down the collective throat of the world's citizens under the guise of the global war on terrorism and of establishing democracy, peace, and freedom in the world. John, you're asking me where I get my sources from.
Yeah.
I'm getting my sources from where everyone should, by just doing a little bit of research. How can you screw up finding out where Mr. Eldrup works and what he controls, and where the newspaper cartoons came from? You put two and two together, you get Eldrup, his newspaper, the cartoons, global problem.
All right, cool.
Thanks. Yeah. Thanks. See, all I do is look under a rock, and I find all these crawly, creepy things that no one looks at because they don't move the damn rock.
Okay, you mentioned earlier about the eventual abolishment of all religions. I was just wondering, and the way you made it sound, it kind of sounded like it was a bad thing that would happen. But I was just wondering why.
So you're following for the little sleight of hand here.
No,
here's what you're falling for. Well, hang on a second. I let you talk for a second.
Okay.
Listen, here's what you're falling for, and you tell me you're not. Okay. You're falling for Judaism, controlled at the very top by the Illuminati, which are the Freemasons.
Right.
Have a look around, just tour around Jerusalem. You'll see their markings all over the place.
Right.
Also, they want to establish Solomon's third temple. Now, let's move to Islam. All of those people that are out in the streets killing people,
right.
Those people are paid for to get out there and do that and give Islam a bad name. Also, in Christianity right now, do you see anyone on any Christian show talking about the world's real problems right now?
No.
Okay, there's the three heads, but you see underneath, the religion is still fine and living inside the people. It's you control the leaders and make it look bad and do it under the guise of religion.
Okay, so
but it's not really the religion, because you see, we have already proved it here in Toronto that Muslim, Christian, and Jew can live together and worship in their separate synagogues, churches, and mosques, and no one will harm anyone. It's when the Illuminati comes in with their chaos to disturb it all is when we get what we have here. Now, it's your floor. Go ahead.
Okay. Well, well said. I kind of understand your view there. But what about all the doctrines in between all these religions, such as, some Christians believe there's a Trinity, some don't.
Okay, well, here we go now in driving the wedge again.
Yeah.
These are the bugaboos. These are the problems. You have to overlook. Can't eat meat on Friday. Hey, don't bug the guy. Or, you know what I mean? Don't bother him if he doesn't eat pork. So what? Those are just small little things that the Illuminati will not allow you to overlook and will use the Hegelian dialectic on you, pitting one against the other, black against white, one who eats meat on Friday to one who doesn't, one who believes in the Trinity, another who doesn't. But you know what? We can all live together if they would keep out of their chaos manufacturing.
Okay, fair enough, Space. Can I ask one more question?
Sure.
Your views on the Guardian Angels coming to Toronto, seeing that they do have the logo of the All-Seeing Eye on their uniforms. Just your views on that in the future that Toronto could be facing with them in the city. Thanks.
Well, didn't you just say it all?
Well,
didn't you just say it all?
Kind of, but
okay, you did. You did, Chris, and at least you're paying attention and understand.
I tried to.
Thanks so much for calling.
Peace.
Spaceman, AM 640 Toronto Radio. Sure, I'd take your call anytime at 416-870-6400 or star 640 on your cell. But I do have an agenda. And the agenda is to stop, or at least voice the outrage at what the elite rich are doing to our world and how they're doing it. I will state once again, the Bilderberg meetings are not just for conspiracy theorists to surmise that they're taking over the world. They are structured on the principle of reaching agreements on how to achieve a goal of a new world order. They attend the meeting. The active members come to an agreement of some kind of action that's going to be taken. They go back to their respective positions in the Western world and implement them. You don't believe me? Then why the hell do they hold the meetings? I'm sure they have much bigger things to do. By the way, Zayed Abu Amr